I've only ever done this once before for a film, which was Flow. It's me begging you to go see a specific film in theaters because it deserves to have a really strong run in the cinema. The Furious. I am a massive fan of martial arts movies. I grew up on them. That put hair on my chest. Notably, everything Jackie Chan ever made, basically. We had all of it on VHS. And martial arts films don't come around super often these days, unfortunately, but when they do, they're usually a treat. The Furious is more than a treat. It is a 5-star, full-course dining experience that walked me home, had sex with me, and promised to call me tomorrow. This film was extraordinary. I've often talked about how The Raid Redemption is one of my favorite action movies of all time. I think it is just a bona fide masterpiece. And I would confidently say The Furious is up there in that conversation. And that's not something I do willy-nilly. I don't put that prestige out there lightly. The Furious is that good. So I strongly urge you, if you are a fan of action films, specifically like just good old-fashioned martial arts films, kung fu movies, this is a must-see. The people in my auditorium were going ballistic because it was super hype. And like, I imagine that's probably a universal experience in watching something like this. Like, it is hard not to get invested in hype, like watching it. It is constant action. But it's not just constant action, it does tell a story, and a pretty compelling one at that. It's nothing you haven't seen before in the narrative department. It is a father whose daughter gets kidnapped by human traffickers, and he hunts them down and just starts brutalizing them, just massacring them, and eventually teams up with someone else who gets brought into the fold because he was investigating this human trafficking operation after his wife, who was a reporter, went missing when she was investigating it, and the two team up, and they just start collecting scalp here. They blow through like hundreds of goons. Like, there are times where it felt like a Muso, like a video game Muso, like Dynasty Warriors. They're just chopping through countless bodies. It is so good. But yeah, the narrative isn't going to be anything like super new that you are going to be, fucking blown away by when it comes to its story, but it's a good enough story that gives you reasons to care and does a good job of making you care and get invested because it doesn't pull any punches. So it is high stakes. It is intense. And the characters, they do get a lot to do and they do get a lot of fleshing out for the most part. But it's not like anything, unseen or unique in the space. It's just done. It's executed well, which I appreciate. But the star is definitely the fight choreography. Fucking Jiminy Christmas, man. I don't even know how to express it. They were busting out moves I've only seen in Tekken. Like, they were doing some crazy combos. And yeah, it is a little over the top in that regard, but it never, gets to a cartoonish level or, anything where they're, on wires flying around or anything like that. I'm sure there were, some wire moments in here when it came to some of the big hits and, they do kind of fly across, the floor and stuff. But it felt very grounded. It felt like real martial arts that was taken to an absurd degree. It was breathtaking watching these fights. Some of the moves they were doing, I'm not even sure if it was martial arts or some shit out of the Kama Sutra, yet it still ended with some dude's arms and legs broken into 1,000 pieces. Like they'd just been put through a fucking human wood chipper. Shit was crazy, man. There are so many of the moves are on the ground and rolling around and stuff that the protagonist did multiple times where, everyone he fights is also really competent when it comes to their combat as well. So he'll oftentimes be getting overpowered and then get thrown on the floor and then they're about to stab him or something. So then he just starts rolling into them, actually fucking somersaulting into them to knock them off guard and fall over him, getting tabletop. And then he capitalizes on it with some elbows and shit and some big kicks. It's so cool. And it's almost never one-on-one. He is always fighting hordes of bad guys. So he's this movie is what Dale from Detroit Urban Survival Training thinks he is. He is handling tons of guys, but he's not doing the circle technique or anything. He's just going in there climbing on top of them, hitting them with a hammer, elbow dropping the fucking people's elbow right on their skull, collapsing it, concaving their face in. and then going to the next guy, like crawling all over him and jumping around and scooting around. Bro, I kid you not, one guy unironically busts out that fucking dance move that your drunk uncle uses at the wedding where he spins around, sliding at someone doing that and kicking his legs out. It's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle move, and he just like bowls over a guy. It's so fucking cool. Like, I said it doesn't get cartoonish, but it does get very over the top, but in a way that does still feel grounded and impactful and like meaty. Like I really cannot praise the action and the fight choreography enough. It was so good. It was violent. It was extreme. Fuck. And there was so much in so many different locations. Like, it was constantly moving from new location that's exciting, like a club, or it even, like, some of the places it goes, I do feel like paying homage to some recognizable locations that you can kind of see similar DNA from classics. And they just keep going to these places, beating up more guys. You know, it's so fucking good, man. It even has some of the actors from the Raid Redemption. I love seeing them in here, so it was really cool to see them again. Like, man, you can tell how excited I am just having watched the film. I shit you not, as cringe as it is, I came home and I literally started doing some of this shit like I was fucking Wing Chuning a ghost. Like, it's just one of those movies where you watch it and you're like, fuck, that was cool. Wish I could do that. Also, I have to highlight one character in particular. He's introduced early on in the film. He is just